Hi, Kitty Q. I have no idea what's going on. I'm trying to figure it out. I have no idea. It will not connect. Stream marker. I don't want that. You emailed me. Okay. Um, I have no idea what's going on. So I jumped onto. I'm live streaming on YouTube right now, directly on YouTube. I'm bypassing the software altogether that I use, all three of them. I closed out everything to try to, see if I can find out what's going on. Good evening, Lemon Pie. I'm trying to figure out. I'm right now. I know I'm not looking at the camera. I'm looking over here at the top. That's where all my tabs are. I'm trying to figure out because I mean I can't do trivia this way because it won't all right. So this is what I figured out so far. My stream key is valid. All right, my stream key is valid. It's connected to Google. That's there, works perfectly fine. Upload to from Google to my streaming software. My OBS is perfect. No connection errors there. Scrolling down, internet connection. I've got a perfect internet connection. Hello, Interpeas, Lemon, Pippadot. I can see your comments now. I've got the other window open, and I'm looking at that. So I'm actually got this. It's like split screen, so you guys are really narrow over here on the side. But I'm trying to figure out why it won't connect to the other because I was sitting there, I'm looking at it, and then the comment section, all the comments disappeared. They just had like little circles for your icon photos, that you use, and then they all went blank. So they went blank, and then the comments had all vanished. It was just boxes there, for each one. But I'm like, okay, what the heck happened? Something was it was working perfectly fine there for the first like 6 minutes, and then poof, into the atmosphere, all gone. We've all been all over the place, so we could hear you you could hear me. Well, see that? Yeah, I mean, I don't know what's going on because as soon as I clicked on to go on to, I was going to read, the answer to question number 2, all of a sudden it just went poof, blank. The whole thing did. So I reset the computer. I reset the router, just to make sure. I've reset Google. I reset, and I've got a completely new stream key. We heard everything and continued chat. Will, did you let everyone know there was a tech? I can't. It wouldn't let me type anything in the chat box, Kitty Q. The whole thing went blank. First, all the comments from everybody went blank, and then it just had the circles for each person. So I could see their icon photos, and then the chat box for me went blank. It wouldn't let me type anything in. Actually, I did. I said, "Hello, world. Hello, everyone," and then I hit enter, and it wouldn't even put my chat in the chat box so everybody could see it. It just stayed there, and the little cursor just kept on blinking. I have no idea how to even tell anybody. Mini Mute back. Welcome. And the way that I have trivia set up now, Everything's saved into the cloud. All I have on my board here is just the actual answer key. Now, I've got my notes. I mean, we could do it that way. I could just read you the question, and you can type in the chat what you think the answer is. I mean, but what fun is that? So I'm trying to get the other one to up and running here. I'm waiting. Right now, I'm refreshing the entire thing, and it's still going through it and doing the connection. But if I can get it working, we'll still do it that way. Well, really quick, you pronounced his wife's name as Kathy. I'm sorry, I don't know. Katie is her name. Well, Katie McCormick Durst. Did I say Kathy? If I did, I'm truly sorry. We'll add that to the corrections for next week. But thank you for pointing it out. I'm really truly sorry if I did say Kathy instead of Katie. Kathy. Kathie McCormick Durst. All right, still, it's done with that. I can't see you guys right now. I know you guys are still there. I had to expand the window so I can see what I'm doing here. All right. So I'm requesting a new stream key right now. Stream with audio and video using my OBS key. I'm entering the studio. Expand. All right, now I just clicked on schedule. We'll see if this works. Hopefully it does. I'll know in just as soon as I get done filling out these boxes. So Robert Durst Trivia Night episode 331. Second try. It's actually more than a try. At this, please join us. All right. So set this for 5 p.m. One more box to put in here, and one more box to fill. All right, that's done. Then we click on next. Then we collect. I want to connect to YouTube. Create event. It's creating the event. All right. Now, that's in 9 minutes and 50 seconds. Let's see what it says here. Same thing. Same thing, ladies and gentlemen. Well, you can't see me anyways. Same thing. Same outcome. I just refreshed the entire system and went back through. And when I set up the new one, it's the same thing all over again. It will not connect. It is showing a blank screen. I wish I had a snapshot I could show everybody what the hell this looks like. So use your imagination for a second here. See the screen here with all my my studio in the background. Imagine a blue screen, okay? On this, so I'm pointing to my left. This is my right. That's left there, and whatever. Okay. But over on this side, there's a box that is it goes from the top of the screen to the bottom of the screen, and it says private chat. And it allows me to chat directly with my moderators and moderators only. And they're the only people who are approved that are in that list for that private chat in that tab. In the middle, all right, so that's probably about 10% of the total screen that you see here, okay? In the middle is the screen, all right, for where I am and where you see the trivia questions. And then over here on this side, this would be the far right-hand side for me, is the chat. There's a box at the top that says top chat, live chat. Then the actual chats like you see right here, where you guys are chatting right now. All right. And down below that is a box right now. In white letters, it would say chat, ... Click on that. I enter a chat. Over a little bit in a thin little, maybe like 5% of the total screen, again, from here to here, all right, is a bunch of tabs. And those tabs are for adding special effects, background, music, all kinds of things that I would never want to use anyways. And I never click on them. All of this stuff, the chat box and the tabs are grayed out. Everything's grayed out. You can't even click on it. I'm looking at it right now. And it says I'm going live in 6 minutes, but I can't because I can't even click on that stuff to go live for the chat. Nothing. Overlay, nothing. I can't click on any of it. The only thing I can do now is to abandon this one altogether like I did before. And once I confirm, unschedule, and now it's gone. Hi, Short Nice. Good evening. I'm having some beach bum. Lots of people having trouble with StreamYard. Yeah, I'm not using StreamYards. I think it's Beach Bum or BCH Bum. Beach Bum's the way I read it. But not meaning in a derogatory way or meaning it to be disrespectful, but that's the way I just looked at it quickly and that's what I saw. But anyways, I don't use StreamYards. I've had a lot of problems with StreamYards and I stopped using them a long time ago. So I switched to another company called Restream, and it has worked flawlessly for the last 3 years up until I would say the last 6 months. This is now probably like the third issue that has come up like this, where it just for some reason will not connect, and I don't know why, but now that has been abandoned, I'm going to go back to I can't see you guys' comments right now. I'm going back to Google. To look at the cloud, to look at the content. And I'm going back to this and putting in my password. I'm going to move my keyboard forward so you guys can't see it. All right. Okay, so that's there. That's saved. Google Cloud is connected. I made sure that that's correct. Now I'm going back to the streaming software. Again, one more try. One more try, and then I give up completely. Because what else am I doing that is possibly different or wrong from before? And the worst thing is because it's Sunday and this weekend, There is nobody in town that I can call reach out to. Normally for my tech support would be either my daughter or my wife would be tech support for me. But neither one of them are available to run in here and save me from myself or whatever the hell I may have done. I don't want graphics. Why is it trying to turn on graphics? All right. I know this is a long, boring process. Where's the daughter when you need her? Kitty Q? She's at work. Yeah, I know. People and their darn responsibilities. And this is my job. And I can't figure this one out either. Oh, I'm sorry if I missed you, Mel. Are the graphics the questions you prepare, Will? The graphics that they're trying to load are, say, like this was a blank screen, like you see here with all my background. The graphics that they want to load is like blur background or a template of different colors, swirl patterns. The Ukrainian flag, American flag that waves in the background, videos and stuff like that. So basically, you would see the outline of me, but then you would see none of this in the background, which would probably be a good idea most days. Because, looking around here at this picture right now, what you're getting here is an insight into my mind and how scattered it is. If you could see what's behind the camera and all the piles of paperwork that are over here. I mean, you see a little bit over here, but I've got papers everywhere on this table and on the table in front of that, because I'm like 8 feet from the wall where the monitor is. So where this is sitting right now, it's about halfway in the studio total lengthwise. So this gives you a little insight into my mind. I wonder how anybody understands the technical stuff, right? Mini Mutt? Or is there no letter there? I'm sorry. We are still here. Yeah, thank you everyone for hanging out while I try to figure this out. All right, go back to this, see what the hell is going on. It's so frustrating. When it works perfect every time. When it doesn't work, I have no idea what is going on. And that's crazy. What is this? 0 of 2 active, get more. I don't know what that is. Is that channel already added? Okay, great. I don't want to add any more channels. Oh, now it says it's there. Yeah, I don't know. Sorry, I can't see anybody's comment right now. I'm still trying to figure this craziness out. I'm just going through everything to see if there's anything that looks remotely different. I don't know. Don't know. But things like this will drive someone to drink. It's a joke. It's a joke. All right, next stream, I'm titling it Anyone Out There? If so, comment. I can change the title and everything else later. But let's see if it works. I mean, it's not going to be immediate. I'll let you know if any of this ever works. If I get anywhere and I see anything that's even remotely different, I'll let you know. Okay, it's and now we go here and we delete that because I don't know why that's there. That was my fault. Continue. Connected to cloud. Connect. Upload. Processing. Get the wheel of death. Slowly turn. Slowly. 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 While it's connecting to the Google Cloud. Anything different there? No, not yet. Might as well smoke them if you got them. I'm wasting everyone's night. I am truly sorry about that. And this may not even work either. I wouldn't be surprised. Wasted days and wasted nights. That just popped in my head. I swear. Okay. Now we go here. All right, everything there looks good. Come on, work. Nope. Same thing. I don't know. I give up. I do. I give up. It's not connecting. The stream software is unable to connect, is what it says now, to YouTube. Unable to connect to YouTube. Even your kids know? Well, the only other thing I can do is I can read you the actual questions that I have, but I don't have it's not going to be multiple choice. If you want to, do something about, Robert Durst, put a 1 in the comments if you just want me to read the questions and you guys can just guess at them. Put a 1 if you want me to read the trivia questions. I can't put them on the screen. We can try. We can definitely try. Super chat cat. Because you can still do that as well. I mean, you can chat away. I can just read the questions to you, and I have the answers. I mean, this is the questions and the answers. They're just not in multiple choice form. Nor can I put them on the screen. We can all go rogue. Yes, we can. All right. The first question that we already had, question number 1. What was Robert Durst's father? Robert Durst's father is Seymour Durst. That was question number 1. Let's see. What was the name of Robert Durst's first wife who disappeared in 1982? What was Robert Durst's first wife's name that disappeared in 1982? Number one, Mr. Redfin. Is Mr. Redfin someone in the chat? Snooky. Kitty Q, I think you were right. I think it is Kathy, not Katie. Kathy. Yes. Yeah. The answer to the first one is Kathy McCormick Durst. Kathy McCormick Durst. All right. So question number 3 that was going to be on the trivia is, in which city did Kathy McCormick Durst disappear? Mimi, not Minnie. That's an M, not an N. Oh, God, I gotta get my eyes checked. No N in New York, of New York. 500 BC, says Sal. What city did Robert Durst's wife disappear from? Well, it's Mimi. Yeah, I Kitty Q, I swear, it's like, I'm sorry, beach bum. I thought it was beach bum. If it's not, I'm still sorry. But I looked at it, I glanced up, and I was like, okay, because I'm not reading down here at the bottom. I'm up like here towards the top before it goes by and leaves. And I thought for sure that said, it was a Minnie, M-I, like Minnie, like Minnie Mouse. Yeah, Mimi, M-I. That's my bad. Mimi. He took her home and unalived her, says Pippadot. Can you provide the usual choices, Will? No, I can't. Mel. I'm Mel Stiller, I can't. I don't have the multiple choices. I write the questions out on paper. And I write them out, and then I write out the answer. And then I make an answer key. Okay. Question 1 through 20, and that it's got an answer key for each. So at the top there, here is the trivia date and number in the episode, and then I just write down the numbers. When I actually make them to display them to you, as I'm making each and every slide with them, I automatically just say, okay, I don't want them all to be A. I don't want them all to be B, and I don't want them to run in order of A, B, C, D, E. So I just pick one, and I'm like, okay, this one's A. So the next one's got to be either C, D, or E. And then I kind of go through like a rotation of, where the actual real answer is going to be. And then I fill in the, others on top of that. Yeah. Look, I've been 331 episodes of this. You think I would buy, at this point, print out, and make like a sheet where I can just fill in. I handwrite these on computer paper every single week. I could make a spreadsheet and type all of it out, or a blank box that's just like labeled 1 through 20 with the did you knows and then the break time. And then I just have to write in the answer. But every single week I do the same thing. I write it out on paper in a spiral notebook, well, one of these. Every week I write the questions in this. Then after I write the question out, I then type them up, print that out, and and then I make the actual slides. I know, way more work than I need, but that's what works for me. Crazy. I know. The mind of the insane. You are seeing the inside workings of how the cogs inside of my brain slowly turn. Where did his wife, Kathy McCormick Durst, disappear? She disappeared from New York City. New York City in 1982. She just vanished. Yeah, New York City. All right, the next question, question number 4. What year was Robert Durst arrested for the murder of Susan Berman? What year was Robert Durst arrested for the murder of Susan Berman? Mimi, it is. It can be. It can be a lot of work, but it works for me. Because you also have to understand that I don't necessarily do this on this computer. I do it in sometimes, like, if I'm still working on this and it gets closer to, say, 3 o'clock in the afternoon, I shut this computer down, save my files and everything else, and then I head on into the house because my son gets home from school every day, about 3:20ish. They actually he rides a school bus, and he really loves the school bus, by the way. But he gets home at about 3:15, 3:20, because they actually let him out of school at 3, and then the bus ride, it depends upon how many kids are on the bus to drop off. But we have an app that tells us on our phone, where the bus is and how long it is until drop off. Mal is going to go with 2019. We got Sal at 2017. We have Peppa 2015. I like how he sits there and talk. Okay. Inner Peace is going with 1999, the Prince reference. Short Knives 2015. Yes, he got away with murdering and hacking up Morris Black in Galveston. Got away. Years later, finally got busted for Berman. Kitty Q 2016. Well, the correct answer is 2015. He was arrested for the murder of Susan Berman in 2015. I'm sure I'm wrong, Will, but hey. Well, it was 2015. All right, question number 5. What HBO documentary brought new attention to Robert Durst's alleged crimes? I'll read the question again. What HBO documentary brought renewed attention to Robert Durst's alleged crimes? Short and S is going with The Jinx. Shoot, I forgot the name. Sal's going with The Jinx. Diddy. Here's little Diddy about Jack and Diane. 2 American kids growing up in the heartland. Jack gonna be a football star. Oh, the things that are in this head. The actor in that role was kind of creepy. The Cuffy Diddler. That sounds right. The Jinx, says Mel. How to not get away with murder. All right. Question number 5. What HBO documentary renewed the attention to Robert Durst's alleged crimes? The answer is The Jinx. The Jinx was the name of the HBO documentary. And yes, he was caught on a hot mic in the Jinx. So, all right, next question. Question number 6. What incriminating statement did Robert Durst accidentally make on that hot mic during the filming of The Jinx? What incriminating statement did Robert Durst accidentally make again on the hot mic during The Jinx? Hot mic means that the microphone that was attached to the lapel mic or some other microphone was still recording and he thought it wasn't. But what did he say on that hot mic? Something to talk about. Good evening. Make sure you're on live chat, not top chat, live chat. Mel, I really should know this. Lego my ego. Good evening, Broken Justice. I'm glad you could be here with us tonight. I've had so many technical issues tonight. I can't get the streaming software to work. So normally you would see these on the screen, but I can't get the thing to work at all. It says it will not connect with YouTube. Let go my ego. Hey, there's a new feature I'm going to click on because I know this actually works because I helped set this up for my friend. You can actually click on a thing here. Where is it? There it is. All right. This is just a joke, okay? Whatever you do, do not take this seriously, what you're about to see here in a minute. Okay? But this is a new feature that you can do on YouTube. It's something that they took from other venues that do streaming. If you look at the top of the chat where it says live chat, underneath that you will see a little bullseye in arrow and a 0/10. If you click on that, and I get 10 donations of super chats in the next 29 minutes and 20 some seconds, I will say the word boo. It's a joke. You don't have to do it. Okay. But you can set a goal, and if you'll see it there, it says goal created by 401 just got started, and then you can click on it where it says see goal. This is something that they've taken from other venues that do streaming. And good evening, Gone Girl. How are you doing tonight, sweetheart? I hope that you're doing well. But you can actually as a creator, you can put in a goal. You can do it for $5, $10, $50, $100, $500, whatever. All right, but if it counts down for the super. You can make it if you don't meet the goal in a live stream, you can stretch it out into next one, next one, next one until you meet the goal. I'll turn it off here in a minute. But I just thought it's kind of neat that they did this. And then you can do pop out chats and other thing else, like on the screen here, to be recognized for those, but I do not expect anyone to do it again. It is just to show you that it's a new feature that they have decided that in their infinite wisdom that it would be a great idea to put this into feeds. Okay. Back to the question. What did Robert Durst say on the hot mic during the filming of The Jinx? The answer is what he said was, "What the hell did I do? Killed them all, of course." He admitted to that on a hot mic. He thought that the microphone wasn't recording him, but he said, "What the hell did I do? I killed them all, of course." So that's question one. That's two. That's three. I'm numbering these so I know what number we're on. That's five. And that would have been question number 6. All right. Next question is Robert Durst was arrested in 2001 for the murder of his neighbor. What was his neighbor's name? Thank you to both of you. Something to talk about in Gone Girl. Thank you very much. I appreciate that, both of you. You both did not have to do that, but I really do appreciate it. I didn't mean to turn it off, but thank you very much. I really do appreciate it. It was really nice of you, thank you very much. Hey, the chat works here. I just can't get it to work on and connect to the YouTube. But again, the question number 7 is Robert Durst was arrested in 2001 for the murder of his neighbor. What was his neighbor's name? And Colleen, good evening. Good evening, Colleen. Welcome to tonight's trivia. I know this doesn't look like any other trivia night that I've done. Watched you for years back. You're my strength to get through the house fire. I was out of my house for 3 years, 2019, 2022. Living conditions were not good and had C. diff. Oh man, I'm really sorry, Colleen. You had C. diff on top of it all. Oh man. And Poppy, good evening, Poppy. But Colleen and Poppy, both of you, I hope had a great weekend. And thank you very much for being here with us tonight. Yeah, I had technical issues, and normally you on your screen right now, instead of seeing my ugly mug, you would see a beautiful picture with the trivia question and a multiple choice question, multiple choice answers to it, A, B, C, D, or E. That's what you'd normally see, but it will not. My streaming software for some reason will not connect to YouTube. And the worst thing is I'm going to finish up this stream tonight, and it's going to work flawlessly. I guarantee it. As soon as I turn the damn thing off, sorry for my language, but it's going to. I just know it's going to. Barry Morphy forklift. Mine was a great weekend until this. I hope we're all having technical difficulties this evening. All right. What was the name of Robert Durst's neighbor that he was arrested for the murder of in 2001? That was Morris Black. Morris Black. Next question. What state did the killing of Morris Black take place in? Yeah, so in 2001, Robert Durst was arrested for killing his neighbor. What state? So question number 8 is what state did this actual murder take place in? Oh, we got Texas and Texas. Got the dot Galveston, Texas. Sal's going with Texas as well. Morris the cat, says Mel. It took place in a state of confusion. Interpedes. Who is the defense attorney? Don't know. Don't have that in front of me right here. I probably do in my notes though. I don't know about this case. Can try to guess or copy off people. There you go. That works, Poppy. You know, I tell people all the time, when it comes to trivia night, we are here for just fun and entertainment. It is not considered cheating if you want to use Google, phone a friend, ask someone at the Love's truck stop, cashier counter, shout out the window and ask anybody walking by your home. I don't care. It's all up to you. It's not cheating. Dick, there you go. Hey, thank you, Super Chat Cat. Thank you very much. I appreciate that. How do you pronounce that? Is it Degarian? Dick Degarian? That's how it looks like it would be pronounced to me. D-Gar-in. Degarin. Dick Tracy, says Mel. But he spells it differently from his brother, who is also an attorney. Degarin? And you retracted it. Well, you didn't have to retract your comment. That's not the kind of group we have here. No one's gonna. If you broke it down phonetically, incorrect, it's still good. Degarin. Degarin. Is that how you pronounce it? Well, my last name is Finley. That's my last name. In case you guys don't know that, my name is Will Finley. My last name is spelled Finley. Finley. You would be surprised how many times in my lifetime people have referred to my last name or pronounced my last name as Finley. I've gotten it my entire life. And I'm like, no, it's Finley. They're like, no, it's Finley. Fin, fine, Lee, L-E-Y, Lee, fine, Lee. I'm like, no, it's Finley, you idiot. People from all over the world, we pronounce things differently. Doesn't mean that, I know I'm right. I mean, that's how my family pronounces it. That's how it's always been. But Fin, Finley, or Finley, very different. Yeah. But when my father and his brother immigrated to America, they both not my father and my grandfather and his brother, when they immigrated to America, my father and his brother were the first born Americans, and then down the line, generation wise. But anyways, but my grandfather and his brother, when they immigrated to America, they came through Ellis Island. And one brother, my father, Grant, his dad, all right, his dad got Finley, Finley, and his brother got Finney, Finney, Finney. Two brothers. Their immigration paperwork was stamped by the same person in Ellis Island, and they were numbered concurrently. And their names coming through Ellis Island were, the one brother's name was spelled wrong. So, I mean, they always knew what their names were. They were, I think, 12 and 11 when they came through Ellis Island when they immigrated from Finland. But we're Irish. But they actually immigrated from Finland. They moved from Ireland to Finland to the United States. My family has been here since the Civil War. I could join the DAR. DAR. I know this, what DAR stands for. Daughters of the American Revolution, DAR, DAR. See, I knew it. I knew it would come into my head. Daughters of the American Revolution. We used to host meetings for the Daughters of the American Revolution at our Moose Lodge, because we're all Moose, members of Loyal Order of the Moose. But I'm going to answer the question first before I go on this tangent here. Where did the murder of Morris Black take place? Question number 8. That happened in the great state of Texas. But me and just about every member of my family were all members of the Loyal Order of the Moose. And we had a meeting room that would seat probably about 100, 125. And we used to host the meetings for the Daughters of the American Revolution. And they had the coolest, and it had to be one of the original, not like, handwritten copies of the Declaration of Independence. And thank you very much for the super chat, Pippadot. Thank you very much. I really appreciate that. But they had a print, like one of the first prints of the Constitution and the Declaration of Independence. It was really cool, and they had them all framed. And they would, every time they came in to have their meetings, they put them on these tripods. It was really cool. And then they had a big, huge one of George Washington. But that's my only connection to the DAR, Daughters of the American Revolution. All right. With that tangent out of the way, next question is, how did Robert Durst allegedly try to disguise himself while living in Galveston, Texas? How did Robert Durst allegedly try to disguise himself while living in Galveston, Texas? What coal is the cat? Likes watching. It's so bizarre. He watches over his family. Pippadot is going with a woman, male, a woman, beach bum, a woman, short, nice, an old woman. Kitty Q. Robert Durst dressed like a mountain lion. He dressed like a mountain lion. A mountain lion, and he drove around in a Yugo and smoked a lot of meth. Colleen's 41 says, I think he went underground. He used the name Dorothy Steiner or Sinner. I got glare from the Yeah, I gotta wait for it to move up so I can actually see it. He was trying to blend in, LOL. as a cougar. Wow. It's a cougar, not a mountain lion. He took the name off a dead woman's grave. Hmm. All right, let's see here. This would be question number 9. He was a creepy dude. Oh, yes, he was. All right. The answer to question number 9 is, was it Pippadot that said, I think it, put the correct answer in there. He dressed as a mute woman. A mute woman. An elderly mute woman is how he dressed. And when he just allegedly disguised himself. I don't know why it said, I put allegedly in there when I've already seen the documentation. Now, just take the word allegedly out of there because he definitely did it. He dressed as a mute elderly woman. All right, question number 10 is, which close friend of Robert Durst was found dead in the year 2000, leading to suspicion of his involvement? Another person dead who was connected to Robert Durst. Again, the question is, which close friend of Robert Durst was found dead in 2000, leading to the suspicion of his involvement? We got super creepy. Dang, don't know what to say. You can say anything. We're all just friends here, anyways, Colleen. I'm the same person as I was back when before you had your the house fire and you got C. diff, which I really am sorry about. My wife had C. diff, and it sucked. She got hers from a hospital visit itself. She back when she was going through breast cancer and the chemotherapy, she had a PEC line that they had put in for giving her injections, and it got infected, and we went to the hospital, and then she had she got C. diff on top of it all. That sucked. And that if which one was going to kill her first, the cancer, the chemo, or the C. diff? I really am sorry for anybody who's ever had to, a loved one or had it themselves. It's not fun. He's a bum. He killed her and let her puppies run loose. I have to see the doc on this creep. Oh, Mimi. There are several. The HBO, The Jinx is a good documentary. Not 100%, covers it all, but it's a good place to start. There's a couple other ones that are that were some movies that have been made that are pretty good. Side note: Robert Durst died with his his name convicted because his appeals hadn't been exhausted due to his death. Lewin has 100% conviction rate, cold cases. Oh. I guarantee you, Pippadot, that's on here. I know it was on the original question, so it's got to be on here somewhere. All right. Which close friend was found dead in 2000, lead to his suspicion? Question number 10. The correct answer is Susan Berman. All good things. There you go, Pippadot. See, you already got it. Well, I'll just cross that one off the list. We won't be asking that question now, will we? Okay, so if you're new here, normally what I do after the first 10 questions of trivia night is we take a break. For 6 minutes, we take a break. Do what you need to do for the next 6 minutes. Go get something to eat, make yourself a cup of hot tea, smoke a bowl, shotgun some beers. You do you for the next 6 minutes. Again, no, we always have this break at time where after the first 10 questions we take a break, and then we come back here after the 6 minutes, and then we do the next 10 questions. Unfortunately, ladies and gentlemen, there is absolutely no way I can do the cases of missing and endangered people tonight. I work, if you're new here, I work with and volunteer and help get the word out there. I'm not paid to do this at all. I work with the National Center for Missing and Exploited Children. I work along with them. Name Us, which is a nonprofit organization helping to identify, the remains of people that have been found. The Charlie Project, which is the largest, depository of missing, and people from around North America, and on top of that, the FBI, putting forth these, people who are missing. And the FBI is not involved in it for criminal reasons, like this person's wanted or ain't done anything else. They just run a depository of missing person cases, along with the Charlie Project. They pretty much do the same thing. But if you've never been to the Charlie Project, go to the Charlie Project. Again, it's Charlie, CHARLIE space project. Put that into your Google, and then scroll down on the page. You can search for missing people in a geographic location. You can search for them alphabetically. You can search by year in geographic, like north, east, like split the country up. I want to look for just people who are missing. How many people are missing in your area? Like, take the United States and Canada and divide it into thirds. How many people are missing in that area? You'd be surprised. And these records go back, I think it's 1920, from 1920 all the way up to people who have been reported 6 months ago, 3 months ago, a month ago. But I don't get paid to do it. I'm just trying to bring attention to these cases. The Charlie Project. Yep, Kitty Coo. The Charlie Project. It's a great nonprofit. I donate to the Charlie Project and Name Us every year, and I have long before I ever got into, I signed the agreement to help them to get these names out there and these cases out there in front of, all the people who do watch this content, because you never know. You can know just something so tiny, like, oh, hey, you know what? I remember that lady, or she looks familiar. I live in this area. I saw a lady who looked like that at that gas station approximately. Maybe it was a year ago. Maybe it was 5 months ago. And she got into a blue sedan, but they didn't pay much attention to it beyond that. That little tip of just knowing that you saw someone who looked like that, who may have been that person getting into that blue sedan, could be that one little tiny clue that busts and breaks the case, wide open for law enforcement to help bring closure to the families. I always look at it this way. When it comes to helping these organizations out, I would want someone to do it if one of my loved ones was on that list, or if I was on that list. I would want someone else to reach out and help, call in a tip. Maybe it's wrong. Maybe, it was another brunette who was wearing the same clothes and got into a blue car that day at that store, or you saw standing next to a bus stop, or whatever the circumstances might have been. You never know. Like Purple says, good evening, Barking Pumpkin. Barking Pumpkin, you'll notice that tonight's for trivia that you will not see the questions and the possible multiple choice questions on the screen. I'm having technical difficulties and it was not working at all. So I am on YouTube and I am streaming only on YouTube and I'm reading the questions off. But I hope that you had a terrific weekend, Barking Pumpkin, and I'm glad you could be here with us. People are trafficked in this country. Please keep at what you're keep up to your own. I cannot stress enough. Not just children, but older people too. Again, thank you. You're welcome, Colleen. And yes, there are a lot of human trafficking cases that are on there. And on the Charlie Project, if you click on a name alphabetically, I mean, heck, I've even gotten bored and looked up people with my last name. You'd be surprised. I was surprised. I found 4 people that I never even heard of before. Maybe they're related. They have the same spelling, and one of them is actually from the same geographic location, where I grew up in the state of Wisconsin. And I asked my family, does anybody know this person? No, but they do have the same last name, same spelling, and they're from the same geographic location. But they went missing. They're on the Charlie Project's list. Again, the Charlie Project is just a nonprofit, group that got together and as a depository of names and cases from, and making it so it's a searchable database is what they wanted. And that's what they do. They do updates and they have profile, they have pick case of the month or, and stuff like that. But all right, we have about a minute, if that, left, and then we're back to the trivia questions. Am I close to Bremerton, Washington? Me? No, I know where it is. It's on the west side of the state. I'm on the east side. I'm closer to the Oregon border in Idaho. Purple from the state as well. Oh, my daughter is a Navy nuke. I got some stories I can tell you about my wife's cousin on a nuclear sub. He was in the Navy for 8 years, and some of the crazy shit that he used to do on the sub. He's lucky he didn't get his ass court-martialed. And apparently, a lot of the people who are on the subs do the same thing. I've been on a couple, not stationed on one. She's on the USS Nimitz. There you go. Well, thank you to your daughter. Before we get back to this, and to your daughter and anybody else out there, you yourself or anyone who has served in the armed services, and along with that, thank you to anyone who has done time as a first responder. The first line of defense. Law enforcement. Healthcare, on down the list. Firefighter. Thank you. All right. So the next question is, what was the reason Susan Berman was believed to be murdered? What is the reason that Susan Berman was believed to have been murdered? We used to go to Bremerton to see the Navy guys years ago. So Sal, Bremerton Shipyard. So your daughter is at Bangor, Washington. Hey, Purple. Good evening, Purple. If I didn't say hello earlier, sorry. You never know who's going to be standing next to you or who's going to be knocking at your door next. Dun, 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 dun. But I'm going to say that the saying about the nuclear subs. I've been on a couple, but I've never been deployed on one. I was in the United States Marine Corps. The address Robert wrote on the envelope and letter to police. Yes, she knew things Robert had done. She was going to rat him out over the murder. Why? What was the reason Susan Berman was believed to have been murdered? Question number 11. Sal says she knew things Robert had done. Well, Sal, you're correct. The correct answer is that she knew of incriminating details about the Katie Durst disappearance is what they believe is the reason why Robert Durst killed her. All right, question number 12. What unusual defense did Robert Durst's attorneys use in the murder trial of Morris Black? I'll read that again. What unusual defense did Robert Durst's attorneys use in the murder trial of Morris Black? Question number 12. Cement Shoes, good evening. Yeah, we've got technical issues tonight, Cement Shoes, so, well, couldn't get my streaming software to connect with YouTube, so I'm just reading the questions and people are just taking a wild guess at them or putting what they think they know or know the answer of. So basically the same thing. The only difference is you don't get a pretty slide and you have to look at my ugly mug. He had to ask Susan Berman to impersonate Kathy Durst over the phone after he killed Kathy. He had a disorder, can't think of the name. I think that his disability is he is a psychopath. Purple, Sal, I was raised in Seattle. I've lived around Seattle. I've lived in Tacoma. See, suburbs around Seattle that I've lived in: Linwood, Edmonton, Mukilteo, Shoreline. That's where I lived around the Seattle area. Never lived in the actual city of Seattle itself, although I did attend college in Seattle, a community college. That was an awfully long time ago that I don't want to think back to, because like in my mind, this is how it works. When I try to think of something like what year something was, I always go, okay, see, my daughter's 25. And I did these things well before then. So that's 25 years ago. All right. Then I got out of the service. That was 27 years ago. And then I'm like, well, Jesus, it's been an awfully long time, because that's 27 and that'd be 4 before then. So that would be, 31. It's just like, oh my gosh. And when you start thinking that way and you're into the double digits, It's been a while. Your daughter loves the rainforest out there, in the natural parks. Tell your daughter to go to the Ho rainforest. Ho rainforest. It's beautiful, 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 beautiful place. The whole rainforest. I live at the foothills of the Cascades now. Yes, I know where you live now. Purple. Mel has been to Seattle. Asperger's disorder, says Sal. Hmm. All right. What was the unusual defense that his attorneys used in the case of the murder of Morris Black? The correct answer is self-defense, claiming Morris Black had taken his gun from him, and that is how and why he killed him. Self-defense. Now, in the state of Texas, you have three means of entering a not guilty plea. It not guilty by criminal insanity, not guilty because you just didn't do it like everywhere else, and the third option is he needed killing. That is an actual legal defense in the state of Texas. I'm not kidding. Look it up. Legal, but he filed a defense of not guilty, no mental disorder, nothing else listed, but he said that he did it because Morris Black had taken his gun. I had my disabled mom move in with me a few months ago, and I missed a lot because I've been busy getting used to it. That's really nice of you to do that, Short Nice. On the 22nd, my mother is going to be coming back home. She's been in a medical rehab center for like the last 3 weeks. She took a nasty fall, but then she was in the hospital, and then she's coming home from the medical rehab center on the 22nd. Excuse me. All right, let's see. Where are we at? All right, next one is, what part of Morris Black's body was never found? What part of Morris Black's body was never found? Thank you. I've been taking care of my mom for 4 years, 5 years now. My mom has the mental capacity of, on a good day, not now, but I mean, I'll get to that in a second. But she's a head trauma survivor. She was involved in a major car accident back in 2000, 2001, something like that. It's been an awful long time ago. But anyways, she has on a good day, she has the mental capacities and the abilities of maybe a 7, 8-year-old. And she has the same, outbursts and everything else like that. But my mom also now has dementia. And it has become more and more prevalent, especially in the last year or so. The dementia is slowly taking her mind from her, and even more than before. On top of it all, I mean, so you add the head trauma, the brain injury, and all that, and now you add dementia to it. It's part of life, Pippadot. It's part of life. We're all given, this life to live, and none of us are given a plan on what to do next. and where to turn or anything. We do the best we can. I took care of my grandfather the last like 5 years of his life, and he had Alzheimer's, so I'm kind of used to it, I guess, if you'd say that. But it's just in my nature to make sure. It was up to my siblings; they would have just stuck her in a home, years ago, 28 years ago, or whatever her accident was. They would have stuck her in a home then, and but yeah, it's not fair. Hey, we make the best of this life, and I'm a firm believer in that. That I don't know what my mission in this world is, but I know I'm here for a reason. And for the longest time, I really believe, me and my wife, we had our daughter, and we were never supposed to have another child. They told my wife before all that we would never have a second child. It would be damn near impossible for her to ever get pregnant, let alone carry another child to term. And then she got cancer, and she tried to die. Now, going through the cancer treatment, it wasn't as much fun as we were led to believe it was going to be. It wasn't. So trust me, ladies and gentlemen, when I tell you that going through chemotherapy and radiation treatment and almost dying is not fun. It's not. But the good thing from that is after the chemotherapy and the radiation and everything else, and we started putting our lives back together after all that. Damn near we were broke as hell, and we didn't have two nickels to rub together to save our lives. She was able to get back to work, and then, well, she got pregnant, and now we have our son, who is 8 years old. Our daughter's 25, and our son is 8. God gave me another reason to be poor for the rest of my life. He looked at me and said, "You have too much money in your savings account. What are you doing with all that money in your 401k? What you need is another child that you're going to have to spend all that money on. Have a son, because he's going to eat you out of a house." I know I have kind of a morbid way of looking at that, but look at what I'm doing. All right. What body part of Morris Black was never found? That would be Morris Black's head. Morris Black's head was never found. That is the answer to question number 13. All right, question number 14. Which U.S. state was Robert Durst extradited from for his trial for killing Susan Berman? What state was he extradited from for the murder of Susan Berman? William is a wonderful gift. He is. He is a gift from God, Gone Girl. He is a gift from God. Your nephew is being treated for inoperable brain cancer. He has some better already. Already thank God. You're doing. Oh, I pray for him. I wish the best for him. I know your son is a wonderful free will. He is. And Cement Shoes is going with extradited from Pennsylvania. Pippa Dot, Louisiana. Short Nice, Texas. Where was Robert Durst extradited from to stand trial for the murder of Susan Berman? So, I don't know. I don't know. Yeah, my son's a gift. He really is. Oh, Kitty Q's going to go with California. and peas. All the above. All the above is the. I think there's a chance that you might have gotten it right. Kitty coo. I have no idea. No clue. Where was he extradited from? Louisiana. That's where he stole the sandwiches, says Pippadot. Louisiana. He hid in Louisiana from Texas. He was hiding in California, says Mel. All right, question number 14. The correct answer is, where was Robert Durst extradited from? He was extradited from the state of California to stand trial for the murder of Susan Berman. All right, next question. Question number 15. What year did Robert Durst go to meet his friend Satan? What year did Robert Durst die? What year did Robert Durst die is the question. What year? He went to meet his friend Satan. Smith Shoes going with 2022. Beachman 2022. Kid 2022. Sal 2020? Question mark. I know this one, says Kitty Coo. So many murders, hard to keep track of them, right? And these are the ones that are publicized. There are at least 2 more murders that Robert Durst was connected to and may have had either a part in or committed. 2 more people died under suspicious circumstances where the cause of death was listed on the coroner's report and the official record as undetermined. 2 more on top of all the ones that are here. Wait, I'm sorry, Kitty Q. They said he was in Louisiana first. Oh, he was in Louisiana. He was definitely in Louisiana. That's coming up. He was in Texas. He was in Louisiana. He was in California. But where did he die? One in New York, one in California, one in Texas. Don't forget about Texas. Texas, he killed Morris Black in Texas. His wife in New York, one in Cali. Mel's going with 2022. Last question, or this question. When did he die? Question. What number is this? This would be question number 15. The correct answer is he died in the year 2022. Robert Durst died in 2022. All right. How did Robert Durst survive financially while he was on the run? How did Robert Durst survive financially while on the run? Okay, so he died in California in 2022. I did not write down on here where he died. Let's see if there's another question that answers that. No, I did not write that down. Not on the questions here. I probably have it in my notes though, that he died in prison or the prison hospital. But how did he survive while on the run? He had his wife send him his money. He stole show business, selling meth to mountain lions and driving Yugos. Kiddiku, I kid you not. That was one of the possible question answers on the trivia tonight. Was that he sold methamphetamines, and crack to street walkers. That was one of the possible answers. I remember that one as one of the possible answers. He worked at McDonald's. He sure did steal a lot. Did he marry her prior to being on the run? I thought he married before his second arrest. I don't recall the answer to that one. Well, his first wife, I mean, he was never charged, right away with her. She just vanished, and she was just gone. Nobody knew what the hell happened to her. But I mean, everybody, within his social circle and outside of it, pretty much in the area, was convinced that he killed her. But how the heck did he do it? Nobody knew. All right, how did he survive while on the run? He survived by using ATM cards that were in other people's names and using cash reserves that he had taken with himself when he went on the run. He had a lot of cash within the house itself when he went on the run, and he took that cash and the ATM cards that were in other people's names. That's how he survived while on the run. All right. Next question. What pseudonym did Robert Durst use to check into the hotel where he was arrested in 2015? What pseudonym did Robert Durst use when he to check into the hotel where he was arrested in 2015? Her own family saw him beat her. Yeah, he worked at McDonald's in California. No, the rich realtor he married last. I don't know the answer to your question. He had wigs, cash, guns, and money. Tiny Tim? Anybody got a ukulele? Tiny Tim? I'll be right back. Kilgore trout. All right. See, the question is, what synonym did he use to check into the hotel when on the run? Mel Stiller is going with Everett Ward. You're correct. You're absolutely correct, Mel. All right, next. In which city was Robert Durst arrested in 2015 just before The Jinx finally aired? In which city was Robert Durst arrested in 2015 just before the HBO documentary The Jinx aired? Mrs. Doubtfire. What city was he arrested in 2015, just before The Jinx finally aired? Galveston, I missed this one. Los Angeles, San Fran. Mel retracted. I don't know why, but Sal's going with, I don't know, Louisiana. Pippa Dot's going, New Orleans, baby. Let's put it this way. Where he was arrested in 2015 is where he stole sandwiches. Is that a hint? Is that a clue? Does that help? Where he was at. All right. The answer to where he was when he was arrested in 2015, just before The Jinx, the HBO documentary, it was finally aired, is he was in New Orleans. New Orleans is where he was when he was arrested in 2015. Okay, next question. During his time in Galveston, what type of animal was Robert Durst known to keep as a pet? Okay, I'll read that again. During his time in Galveston, just in Galveston, Texas, what type of animal was Robert Durst known to keep as a pet? Now, you got to think about the state of Texas. What kind of animal would he keep as a pet while in the Galveston, Texas area? A rat. Short and nice goes with a dog. Sal's going with a snake. A snaky snake. An armadillo. Ooh, I hope it's not one of those armadillos that was it the 6-band, 4-band armadillo? I didn't know that. Maybe y'all didn't know this either. Did you know that armadillos and koalas can get chlamydia? No, and you can't catch the chlamydia from them, but both those, the armadillos and koalas, can have chlamydia. Or maybe a mountain lion, Kitty Coo says. You have cat, a snaky snake, says Mel. What kind of animal did Robert Durst have during his time in Galveston, Texas? Kind of animal. Poor critter, whatever it was. A big old hairy armadillo. Leprosy too. Yeah, I heard about that with the with armadillos. I don't know about can koalas get leprosy as well? I was reading this thing about animals that in Texas. Did you know that Texas, between Texas and the state of Oklahoma, there are more tigers. No, or is it tigers or lions? It's one to two. Damn it! I know I'm going to screw this up. Texas and Oklahoma have the two largest population of tigers in private, individual owned hands, not in zoos, but in privately owned hands. Texas and Oklahoma. There are more tigers in individual private capacities, I guess, in those two states. All right. What kind of animal did he have with him? The correct answer is a dog. He had a dog. Now, I have domesticated house cats that are bigger than this stupid little hairball of a dog that he had. This thing is like that big. A little bit bigger than like two softballs. It's just long hair and ugly. But he always had this stupid little dog with him everywhere he went. It was one of those people that you see, and I'm not making fun of them, of this in case you are, you do it. But he always took the dog with him. If he went anywhere at all, he had the dog with him. And everywhere. But the dog. Little tiny hairy dog. All right. Now, earlier, someone asked about, movies that that were documentaries, movies, and stuff like that. There is one that's called All Good Things. That is a made for movie, all right, about Robert Durst. Who played the role character of Robert Durst in All Good Things? Who is the actor that played Robert Durst? This is question number 20. What kind of puppy? I have no idea what kind of dog it is, Pippadot. I just seen pictures of it online. It has a short little fat, flattened face. It had long hair. If you didn't know any better, you would think, from the pictures, if you didn't see the face, you would think that he was holding a mop in his arm like this. Ryan Gosling. Arnold Schwarzenegger. I'll be back. The Terminator. The Terminator played played Robert Durst. Sal's going with Ryan Gosling. Gosling. Yeah. Gosling. Isn't there an F? Yeah, there's an L in there. There was Gosling. Mel spells it with the Gosling. I think that's how it's spelled. At least I think I've seen it like on posters. Sister had an Alaskan Malamute and a Husky. He was super protective. An Alaskan Malamute, those are big dogs. And a Husky. My sister now she has a Great Pyrenees, if you know what those are. She has a Great Pyrenees, and then she has um, Mastiff. That Mastiff is about the size of this freaking table. I mean, it's long. The damn dog is huge. I always joke with my sister that every year for Christmas, what I'm going to get her is I'm going to get her a saddle for that dog, so her the nieces and nephews can ride it around. My Dexter is 120 pounds. Wow. But my other one is 145 and not fat. Sister has two Pyrenees now. They are big, white, and dirty, right? That's what hers is. Her Great Pyrenees is all white, long hair. Yeah, she babies those dogs. They go to like a dog groomer that is like basically it's like a doggy spa where they wash them and trim them, and and she takes really good care of them. There's only one S in Gosling. All right, but they're both massive dogs, that's for sure. All right, the answer to question number 20 is Ryan Gosling is the actual answer to who played Robert Durst in the movie All Good Things. Now I have 25 total questions here that I wrote down. You want another one? You want a 21st? Your Tyson is 160 pounds and Great Dane, but European, not American. That's a big dog. First time I slaughtered his name. My neighbor has one Pyrenees and one Pyrenees Saint Bernard. My sister had a Saint Bernard, but unfortunately, it had some kind of like a hip dysplasia or something like that it got. So the Saint Bernard unfortunately had to be put down. But my sister she's one of those people that she collects animals, horses, chickens, roosters, dogs, sheep. She doesn't eat any of the chickens or the sheep or anything. She just like collects animals. Do the 21st, yeah. All right, next extra question. Question number 21. I mean, I've got more, but how long was the sentence for Robert Durst that he received for the murder of Susan Berman? How long was the sentence? I just noticed. Is that a sea turtle? Like a little baby sea turtle as your icon? It looks like, I mean, the on my end, the icons are just about the size diameter of an ink pen. But it looks like a sea turtle. Yes. Oh, that's cool. If you have a dog prone to hip dysplasia, give them glucosamine. Um, I've never heard of that before, Kitty Q. I've never had a dog that's had hip dysplasia. So yeah, I had one dog that had she got cancer of the cervical spine. That wasn't good. One day she just walked out into the back part of the property and laid down next to the fence and died. And it was like, just like that. The time that she went to the vet and they found out what was wrong with her to the time she died was like a couple of days. But I've never had a dog with hip dysplasia, though. It's a bone supplement for humans, but safe for dogs. I've heard of glucosamine. I've just never heard of giving it to a dog. But it is a sea turtle. That's cool. All right. What was the sentence that Robert Durst received for the murder of Susan Berman? Life in prison without the possibility of parole is the sentence that he got for the murder of. Want a 22nd? Number 22 and 2, like Chuck Woolery, 2 and 2. And you want a 22nd question? I have to sleep for 3 hours. Bye, everyone. Mimi, thank you very much for being here with us tonight for trivia. I'm truly sorry that this kind of looks boring, but trust me, it's not like this at all. It looks a lot better when I can actually technically get the whole thing to work. Louise, sorry I'm late. Yeah, it's all right, Louise. You didn't really miss a whole lot. Louise from Michigan. Do you guys want a 22nd question? 22nd, 2 and 2? We'll make this the last one, the 22nd. It's getting colder, says Louise. I bet it is in Michigan. I'm sure it is. It's that time of year, November in Michigan. Do you have snow yet? Sal says, sure. All right. At the time of Robert Durst's arrest, how much was the Durst Foundation and the Durst real estate business, how much was it worth? How much was the Durst Foundation and the real estate business worth at the time of his arrest? Oh, thank you, Mimi. No snow yet, huh? My sister up in upstate Minnesota, she's got snow. I haven't talked to my other sister, my other family, not my other sister. She passed away. May God rest her soul. But I haven't talked to my other sister, half sister in Wisconsin. Mel is going over $8 billion. 25 million. Sal's going 34. Barking Pumpkins, 600 million. Kitty Coo, 144,000. I figured out, we'd end it with this because that way somebody could get into 144,000. I still have flowers in my garden. We haven't had a hard frost yet. Oh, well, that's good. I wish I could say the same here, Louise. We had a hard frost about 2 weeks ago, and I hadn't had a chance to go out and pick all the tomatoes and everything off of my and watermelons out, and honeydew, watermelon, and tomatoes. I hadn't had a chance to get them all yet, and that frost came in, and I walked out the next morning. Everything was just laid over. I mean, watermelon and honeydew growing on the ground, but all the leaves and everything in the watermelon and the honeydew, when you cut them open, it had that frozen, darker layer just inside the rind. It still ate good once they cooled down, but not so much for the tomatoes. It made them all really bitter. It happens, Louise. Though I watch the weather forecast every day, and it just didn't. I didn't see that the frost come up. That it was coming up. It happens though. I mean, the tomatoes, even though they have a little bit more bitterness to them, I was planning on canning them all anyways. So they're still good, and that's what I ended up doing with them anyways, is canning them all. Well, you call it canning, but they're in mason jars. They're in mason ball jars. So I'm not going to get any loss out of it. I'm going to get them, my use out of them all. All I did was blanch them and then peel them, and then I stuck them in the jars whole, so I can later on, if I want to use them for tomato sauce or marinara or something else down the road, I can. I'll get my use out of them. All right, how much was the Durst Foundation and their real estate holdings worth at the time of Robert Durst's arrest? The correct answer is $68 million is what the Durst Foundation and the real estate holdings were worth at the time of Robert Durst's arrest. At one point during the highlight of his father, Seymour Durst, when he was alive, still, the Durst Foundation in real estate holdings were worth over $600 million. And Robert Durst had pissed away all of it except for, less than 100 million. But he pissed it all away through bad investments, and other, spending it, foolishly, as he lived his life. But if he would have kept on going at the rate he was going, he was going to be penniless by the time he died. But he got caught, and that's the only thing that saved the Durst Foundation. And in case you're wondering, the Durst Foundation actually does a lot of good. They are major philanthropers in and around the United States when it comes to children's hospitals. They do give a lot of money out from the Durst Foundation. Of course, they also have a lot of money coming in. It's all in tax shelters. That's why it's a foundation. That's why rich people set them up in the first place. Dawn Marie, good evening. Hey, Will, I made it. Oh, Dawn Marie, tonight's trivia night didn't work out all that well. I can't, for some reason, to get my streaming software to communicate with YouTube. It kept on. I tried and tried and tried and tried. It wouldn't connect. And then when it did, it did connect originally. And then we got the first two questions, and then the whole thing just went to crap. So that's all I did tonight was just sit here and read them off one by one. These things happen. According to Google, when Durst was arrested in 2015, the holdings exceeded $8 billion. Maybe that's for other holdings, or maybe it was $8 billion, and then what they claim on taxes is less. I mean, we've all seen rich people do some pretty nice accounting when it comes to their assets and what they're worth for tax reasons. But that's the answer that I found that was in the court papers. I'm not doubting it wasn't worth billions. I'm not doubting it at all. Good to see you, boss man. I love your mic. Desperately need a microphone. What kind do you have? This is a Shure. Sure, Shure, or Shure, or however it's spelled. I can't see it right now. Covered up by this thing, which got my name. Trying to turn this without scratching and popping. Okay, this little thing here, it's got my name on both sides of it. Well, thank you, Mel. Definitely more challenging this way. Yes, it is. Yeah, SHURE. Sure. Sure, Mike. I don't know the model number on it though. It works pretty good though. I've behind me, where those books are, there's a table there underneath that. But I've got one of those big, huge rolling bins. It's probably larger than this table that slides underneath there. I've got so many microphones, and I got a whole bunch of them over here too on the shelf. I've gone through. I was thinking about this the other day. Of all the things that when I first started on YouTube, that kind of give you a little bit of backstory. I started off with just my cell phone, just my cell phone. So for like the first 100 videos or so, I shot everything on either my cell phone, or there's a shelf over here that's got the iteration of different cameras that I've used over the years. But I was thinking the other day, when it comes to all this equipment and all the equipment that I've bought over the years to run this entire YouTube channel and everything else that I've done, how much of this technology, lights, computers, how much of it do I really use on a daily basis? And how much of it could I, if it broke tomorrow, could I get away with using something else completely? And the truth is, I need the lights. I would definitely need to replace the lights. All right. Camera, yes. Microphones, yes. The you can see that shelf right there. These brown things right there. Those are two speakers. Those go to the hi-fi system that are right here next to me in the record player. But that's where the mixer is right there on the shelf. Right there. That is an 8-channel mixer. That if I had to replace all this stuff, how much of it would I really need? I go live now. I'm telling my chat how you were one of the first channels I started watching, and tell us all what your first topic was here, Case. First video that I ever made, Dawn Marie, was I made a video about my friend who was murdered. I made a video, me and my friend John, the two of us wanted to go to the parole hearing to stop the guy who murdered our friend from getting out of prison. And we went, and it had been 15 years or so at that point, so I wanted to refresh my memory of my friend's case and how it transpired, because we were there. The murderer actually came to my house and wanted to hide in my basement. And I went online, and everywhere I found, they had information, newspapers, television, everything, that would be on, recorded, that, some kind of record to refresh my, memory of the case itself and how it transpired. I mean, not the murder. I mean, that never leaves you. Your memory of your friend never leaves. But how did the case, the court case and everything transpire? On YouTube, all I found was lies. People defamed my friend. They made up rumors. They made a ton of money off of my friend's name, and watching, and laughed about it and joked about it and stretched little tiny kernels of truth into 6-7 hours worth of live streaming, multiple different live streams in different videos. It was disgusting. And I'd never even owned a camera, like a digital camera at that point. If I did, it was a digital camera, it's probably like one of those Kodak disposable cameras, if I had one at all. I had no desire to ever be on YouTube. I still don't, on a lot of days of the week. I have no desire to really want to do this, but I'm called to do it. So I made a video about my friend. And I did a video about his case, the court case, the monster who killed him. And I put it on YouTube, and no one watched it. If you want to really motivate me to do something for the rest of my life, tell me I can't do it. Tell me that I'm too old to do it, and that I'm not the person that people want to tune in to listen to or see. Because what you see before you right now, this is who I am. I'm not fake. I don't have a Lamborghini in my driveway because I'm making, $100,000 a year at this. I barely make enough money at this, even after 6 years, to even keep the light bill paid, basically. But I'm a financially very savvy individual, and I have taken care of myself and my family, and I have made sure that everything gets paid for. I have a retirement. I have everything else that I should have at this point in my life, but I just don't make money at this because I refuse to be the shell for pushing supplements or energy drinks to you, or telling you about some hideaway program, like how you can hide yourself on the internet from with a VPN or whatever it might be. I refuse to do it. I refuse to take someone else's money and then tell you that everything's great. How can you contact me if the case you'd like to cover? Dawn Marie, I will put it here in the chat. It's 411 now business at gmail.com. Right there. Oh, that's supposed to be 411 now business at gmail.com. That looks a lot better. Yeah, it's nice if you put the 411 in there, not the 11. But it's all right, Pippadot. And I love Duty Ron as well. I hope that everything works out for him in his health. Duty Ron, Joey Brooklyn, Ed Wallace, love them all. Every single one of them. Wish they bring Joey Brooklyn on more. But I mean, I get my Ed Wallace, and Duty Ron. I'm doing good. All right, ladies and gentlemen, I'm going to wrap up tonight's fail or whatever this was. And I know as soon as I end this, I'm gonna go log on to it, and it's gonna work perfect as it's supposed to. Sometimes technology just does not work the way you want it to and when you want it to. But that's the world we live in. We are at the mercy of how the programs decide that they're going to work and when they're not going to work. But I want to thank everyone for hanging out tonight with me. Kitty Q, yes, definitely. Thank you to the mods. I did not see them in the comment section, but I know they're there because I emailed them all that I was going live on YouTube instead. Thank you again to everyone. And I hope that everyone has a great week ahead. Now, tomorrow, Monday, the 18th, I will put another community post out on YouTube and it'll also be on X, and it'll also be on Facebook in case of, wherever you might, be enjoying this content from. But anyways, but tomorrow I'm going to put out another poll about trivia night. And it's only to try to gauge and understand my audience more on what time and what day going forward works the best for you. I'm going to give you 4 examples of different days, different times, and it doesn't mean that I'm going to change anything. I'm hoping that, not only the people, answer the poll, but they'll leave a comment and tell me, if there's a time or a day that's different from those 4 that works better for them. Because look, it's a fact of life. Every one of our lives change, and circumstances change, our health, other things change around us that makes it either easier for us to join on a trivia night, or it doesn't. So that's all I'm trying to do is just gauge more audience interaction and find out what everybody needs in the future going forward for the time and the day. So that's a poll that'll be out on YouTube, X, and on Facebook tomorrow. But in the meantime, everyone, I want to thank everyone for being here, and I hope you all have a great week ahead. Thank you again. Bye. Okay, so here's the problem. I don't remember how to close this. I never stream directly on YouTube. I stream to it. Where do I close it out at? I don't know. It's got to be somewhere. There it is, down at the bottom of the screen, end stream. See, I'm looking in the top corner. I'm looking over in sidebars, and I'm clicking on things, and I'm like, nope, it's not there. It's at the bottom. Never would have guessed it there. Bye.